Hey guys, Mike's Gettin Greasy Garage. Got my son's 1990 Chevrolet K2500. Running real erratic, random misfires. This was a truck that sat for years. Got it running, put a fuel pump in it. He's been driving it ever since. It's just running worse and worse and worse. To the point now it's running on maybe 4 cylinders if it's lucky. And I'm not going to start it up so you can hear that because he's going to work on the motor and we want everything cold. So, pretty sure it's an ignition issue. These distributors and these things were notorious for having all kinds of issues. I had checked it before for the bushings being worn out. That's not the issue on this, but that doesn't mean that the module or the Hall effect sensor isn't defective. And with these things having a plastic bushing in the distributor, it's cheaper to replace the whole unit. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to kind of go about this a little bit differently than normal, but in that I'm teaching him how to basically start from square one if he did not know where the distributor timing was. And yeah, so anyway, he's going to go ahead and pull all the plug wires off and pull the distributor cap. Because when we're all done, he can just follow each plug wire up from its particular cylinder. And we're also going to put a new coil on it. And this thing is 30-something years old, 34 years old. So 90, oh, it's 35 years old today. So, you know, things get worn out, hot, years and years. That, look at the center. Yeah, the center of that distributor cap, it's showing. A lot of buildup, a lot of rust, gunk. Looks pretty corroded. I'll bet you that's your problem. Yeah. So we'll get that distributor cap off and look at it. I'll show you guys here in a minute. Alright, well, got the plug wires off here. And if anybody's wondering, those screws that hold these distributor caps on are a 5.5 millimeter. There's probably something close in standard inch thread that will fit it, but I have lots of tools, so I have a 5.5. So, get this off, take a look at it, but looking in the coil wire, it was definitely corroded. Don't know why. I think this is a cheap, like, Amazon cap. These are fairly high energy ignition. But now it's the double-edged sword of, do we go ahead and put the distributor in that you got and the coil, or do we just change the cap and call it a day? Let's look in the, okay. And here looks okay, but my concern is that nasty looking peg right there. The plug pegs look good. That looks pretty bad. Well, it's pretty corroded. Almost like it got wet or something, but it was definitely arcing out. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to throw the other cap on here, plug wires back on it, and run it and see if that fixes it. So,
what about this rust here?
We'll, oh, that's just that cover on those gets rusty looking. It's just sheet metal cover inside the distributor. But this does show you that sometimes just pulling the plug wires off the cap, even the coil wire, one at a time, just to find things like this, can help you diagnose. So we'll go ahead and get the other cap on it and bring you guys back. Alright guys, so he had picked up this distributor on Amazon. It's I'm sure it's Chinese in, but the thing is pretty nice. I mean, everything's brass inside. It even came with a nice brass rotor, nice brass terminal cap. I mean, this whole thing was $50. And you probably pay more than that for just the cap at the local parts store. So this isn't bad. We're going to go ahead and use this rotor and this cap and put it all back together and see how it runs. Alright, well, put the new rotor in. Now putting the distributor cap back on with our 5.5 millimeter 1/4 inch drive. But here again, you know, the quality of today's parts is horrible because that cap that we just took off of this was not very old, only but a couple of months. Put new plug wires on it, new cap and rotor, and I'm pretty confident that that's the issue. But we'll know here shortly. You're not going in, you got to move the cap just right to get the screw to start. Don't tighten that one all the way down. You got to get them going on both sides.
No, it's in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some of the later years of these distributors were also plastic, which was even a better, cheaper idea. The garbage that these manufacturers sell us, you know, this is a 35-year-old truck, but they were getting cheaper and cheaper. So anyway, he'll get this back on and get the plug wires on it, and we'll fire it up and see how she runs. Alright guys, got all the plug wires back on. If you're watching this and you need to know how to follow plug wires from the spark plug up and put them in the right position on the cap, you should probably go watch videos about that. He's going to go ahead and start it up and we'll see if it runs any better. In there was just looking at the spray pattern of the fuel injector to see that it's spraying in a circular motion. Injectors are good? Well, they work. I mean, the thing's 35 years old. At some point, you probably throw a new set of injectors in it, but they're working good enough that it'll get you to and from work. So let it warm up. We'll take it for a test drive. Light. So we'll take it for a test drive and see how it runs.
Alright guys, it's Rob here. We're back in the 90 OBS K2500 Chevrolet. And, oh. Okay, obviously we have an electrical issue there. Blinkers aren't working. That's okay. Who needs blinkers? But anyway, guys, so here we are. Went ahead and changed the cap and rotor, and seems to be running really good. This thing has always had kind of a weird idle, whether that's a idle air control valve or just a vacuum leak. We're not sure, but it runs. It gets me back and forth to work. Obviously, that's all that matters. Seems to be running a lot better. Doesn't have a miss. I guess realistically, that should have been the first thing on my mind, but at first I thought maybe it was the EGR valve, but nope, it's just the cap and rotor. So go ahead and get on it here. And yeah, you know, the exhaust sounds like crap, but here we are. We're doing 50, almost the speed limit on my highway, and doesn't sound like it's missing. Sounds really good. But no, I'm glad to have this pickup back. And yeah, that pretty much does it for this video. Go ahead and share your stories down in the comment section below about your cheap parts. You know, unfortunately it's not going to get any better, but it is what it is. So long as old school gearheads like us keep fixing the stuff, it'll be around for another couple generations. Go ahead and subscribe, leave a like, share the video, like I say, leave a comment, share your stories down in the comments, and I think that'll be it. So until next time, guys, we'll catch you later. Stay greasy.